Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to Reads and Eats. My name is Fiona. I'm really glad you've clicked my video today. Hope you're going to enjoy it. I'm just going to chat you through the books that I read this week, what my plans are reading wise this weekend. There could be a wee book haul and just like catch you up on what's been happening and what I'm planning to do this weekend. I just, these are very chatty videos. Mind you, most of my videos are very chatty, so there we go, but that's the way it goes. So reading wise, it's been a fairly decent week. I finished Jo of the Shalley School. This is my hardback edition. Gave this one 4.5 out of 5. I love this book. I would have given it 5 out of 5, but suddenly realised they stop it at the beginning of the Easter holidays. I'm like, what? You've still got a term to go. So, but that's fine. Why do I love this book so much? This is book 2 in the Shalley School series by Eleanor M. Brent Dyer. And the school is getting established on Lake Ternsee in the Austrian Tyrol. Now, I've had somebody ask me, is the place real? The place is real. It isn't called Ternsee, it is actually called Achensee. And the village of Breisau in the book is actually Pertisau in real life, and there is a Scholastica. I've been there. It is beautiful. It is just so lovely. I can totally understand why she set her part of her series there. So as I say, we're into the second year of the Shalley School, and new pupils, new mistresses, a new chalet as well. They now have the main chalet, and they've got Le Petit Chalet for the juniors, which is lovely. So they have their own domain over there, and Mademoiselle is the main sort of head over there as well. But they do come together with the middles and the seniors for various events, etc. One of my favourite characters arrives, or actually two of my favourite characters arrive in this book. We have the Robin arrives, and she is a wee girl who has lost her mum, and her dad is having to go to Russia for work, and he was a friend of Madge, Dick and Joey's parents, so they know him. And when he found out that Madge had a school, he came to see if Robin could come to the school. So she arrives. Also, Joey's dog Rufus arrives. And that's all I'm going to say about him. So we have things that happen in the first book. We have follow-ons, is that you catch up on things. You also have the most wonderful description of Christmas in Innsbruck. And also the snow around the lake and up in the Tyrol, up in the mountains and everything. It is just absolutely delightful. There is mischief, there's I don't want to say too much because I really don't want to give it away, but it is a really good book too, and really good. I also finished City Spies by James Ponti. This is book 1 of the City Spies series. I was very kindly gifted this book, plus the next two by my great friend and sister from another Mr. Beth from Soulstein Inc. I will leave a link to her channel down below. So we meet Sarah, and Sarah is a computer hacker. She's 12 years old, and she is very, very good. And she has, she's up in court, okay, because she hacked into the foster care system's website to expose how awful her present foster carers are. But the foster care system have decided, no, we're going to prosecute her. And she's sitting waiting to see the judge, and there's this she's with her lawyer, and he is useless. And when I say useless, he's useless. And this other man arrives and goes, but I'm your lawyer. And he sort of pulls out paperwork to sort of prove that. And the other guy's like, oh, and he's like, well, you go and speak to whoever and just you make, I don't know why this has been mixed up. So the real lawyer goes and the guy goes, I need you to hack into the law system now to change this round. So she does. And he said, I really need you to trust me. I'm going to get you out of this. He does, and he brings her to Scotland. And she becomes part of a group of teenage kids who have varying abilities. Whether that be sleight of hand, whether that be they can see patterns within people or within situations that can prove for solutions. And there's this big environmental event happening in Paris. And the group of teenagers have been entered for this, and there's a competition. And they're there basically to save somebody. Because there's been threats against his life, etc. And they're the only ones that can get closest to him. It was really well done. I really enjoyed it. I loved the setting. Paris was good. The setting in Scotland, I kind of guessed. I think I know where it's set. Just a couple of things that are like, oh yes, aha. I am so glad that Beth gave me this. So thank you, sister. I really do appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to books 2 and 3 and the rest of the series. So yeah, really good mystery, but also middle grade. I know that March Mystery Madness and middle grade March are stopping within 3 days. If you want to read this series, then we've still got middle grade May happening, so you could read it for then, and definitely very good. Actually, you could read The Shalley School for middle grade May as well. So, yeah. The next book I read was Out of the Blue by Jenny Hale. I read it on my Kindle Paperwhite. I really enjoyed this one. So, we meet Nora, and Nora is a school counsellor who has a degree in psychology and things. And there's this young girl, Ivy, who's a bit of a troublemaker. And Nora's the only one that Ivy will act normally with. She will actually talk to her. We discover that Ivy's mother, passed away, and she's now living with her dad, Blaze. And Blaze is a big music producer in Nashville. The story is set in Nashville. And he doesn't really know how to parent his daughter because he's had nothing to do with her since she was about 4. And Ivy has issues with her dad because she's only got one side of the story, and that was her mum's side of the story. So it's very hard for her to believe anything her father says. But she's really connected with Nora, and Nora's trying to sort of help the dad as well. And there is an attraction there. But she's like, coming on to the summer, you need to have a family therapist, and she finds someone for them. And that seems to be fine. Nora and her grandmother go off to this beautiful beach cabin where her grandfather had always wanted to take her grandmother. And they decide to do this, and they're having a lovely time. But Nora thinks there's something. Gran is hiding something. I think they've been there for like a day or a day and a half, and Ivy turns up. Ivy has driven all the way from Nashville, across 7 state borders, etc., because she's had a row with her father. So they let her stay, but Nora phones Blaze and he's like, I'm 4 hours from you. He realised what happened. He has an app on his phone that tells him where Ivy is. So they end up staying with Nora and her grandmother for a week, and it's them all learning to work together. It's Ivy and her father trying to have a relationship and work out all their issues. It's Nora acting as, shall we say, intermediary at some stage, and also Gran acting as an intermediary at times, and it was really, really well done. There was one bit I thought, oh gosh, is something going to happen that I'm not going to like, but it didn't, which I was very, very pleased about. It was really well written. It was a really beautiful story. I loved the setting. I really did. The beach cabin and the beach just sounded absolutely delightful. I loved seeing Ivy come out of herself and actually beginning, the way that her relationship with her father was getting there. I liked seeing that Blaze was able to relax and be more relaxed with Ivy and with the things that were going on. It was so good. The relationship between Nora and Blaze was very, very well written. And also the relationship between Nora and her grandmother was just so delightful. And I loved that Gran also took Ivy under her wing and really, really helped her as well. That was a beautiful, beautiful dynamic there as well. I adored this book. As I gave it 4.5 out of 5. It was just so good. And I am really glad that I got the e-arc for it. I really am. It was my first Jenny Hale, I think. Or maybe I've read one other by her. But I would definitely want to read more by her because I so enjoyed it. It was very good. Next one I read was Engaged with the Boss by Ellie James. This is a Harlequin intrigue. Number 1306 came out in October 2011. For a book that came out in 2011, I didn't expect the spice that was in this. This is probably a 2 chili pepper spice, okay? I did enjoy it. I've given it 4 out of 5. I know I say that I'm not a big one in spice, and I'm not, but for some reason it didn't bother me in this one, and I don't know why, but it didn't. So we meet Devin Kendall, and he's the head of the family corporation, and he is the oldest of 4. Himself and his brothers and sister were brought up by their aunt and uncle because their parents were killed. And something has happened that the case is being reopened, and the DA is basically pointing the finger at the family. The DA is not a nice man. The DA is... There's something about him that... He's sleazy. He's a sleaze bucket. I'm just being honest. He's a total sleaze bucket. You just don't like him. And Jolie Carson is Devin's executive assistant, and she runs his life. She does a dash good job of it, and he'll be lost without her. Something happens that they have to come up with a solution. The solution is a fake engagement. Only problem is that Jolie has been in love with Devin for 6 years since she came to work with him. The only person that knows is Devin's sister Natalie. And as things get worse for the family, the only thing that keeps Devin reasonably stable and grounded is his relationship with Jolie. And it's like, can this become a real relationship, or is it always going to be fake? It was really well written. I really liked the pacing of this. I liked the who's trying to frame them as sort of plot line. And I am going to change. I want to read books. Obviously, I suspect it'll be a quartet, so I want to try and find books 3, 4, and 2, 3, and 4 So yeah, I did really, really enjoy this. Yeah, but I don't want to say much more because I really don't want to give plotline away since it's an intrigue, so very good. So I then picked up The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore. Started this a couple of nights ago. I'm in chapter 12. I am really, really enjoying it so far. It's a fun read and I like this series. Yes, it gets spicy. Can you kind of see a wee bit of a theme at the moment? Very unusual, very not like me. There hasn't been any spice in this at all at the moment. Which maybe there won't be, I don't know. Although the thing at the front says, what did it say? To anyone who ever wished Hallmark Christmas movies were steamier, this one might do the trick. So I suspect it's going to get steamy. Possibly. I'm just hoping it's not going to be too much. I mean, we are 136, I'm on page 136 and there's 342. So we have that much, but I'm really hoping that there's not going to be a huge, huge, huge amount of steam because that will really put me off. So this weekend, a friend was due to come. I was supposed to pick her up today. But unfortunately she's not well, so we've had to cancel. We've had to postpone it. But I'd pre-ordered, or I had, done a click and collect order of a book from Waterston's, and I knew I needed to go and pick it up today, just as well. So I decided, right, I'm just going to go in, get the book, and come home. I also did some shopping that Mum needed me to do. She wasn't great. She had a bad night last night, with cramps, so she hasn't slept much. So at the moment she's snuggled up under a blanket at the moment on her chair, and hopefully, fingers crossed, she will fall asleep because she could really do with a good snooze at the moment. So yeah, one of the reasons I'm up here just now, just to try and give her some quiet time. Not that I make a lot of noise. That sounds awful, doesn't it? It's like you think I'm rampaging around the house, but I'm not. I'm this wee quiet soul that doesn't do very much. It just sits there and reads her book, which is good. Anyway, I did go and purchase the book that I had click and collected, and that is Watermoon by Samantha Soto Yamboa, or Yambayo. If I'm saying your name wrong, I really do apologise. This is way out my wheelhouse, guys. This is woohoo. But I'm buddy reading this with my friend Amanda from Amanda Reads. I will leave a link to her channel down below. She hasn't been on for a year and a bit because she's had various family things happening. But we always do buddy reads. We haven't done one for a while, so she said, do I fancy buddy reading this with her? And I said, yeah. So I shall give you the synopsis. Life is about finding joy in the space between where you came from and where you're going. On a back street in Tokyo lies a pawn shop, but not everyone can find it. Most will see only a cosy ramen restaurant, and just the chosen ones, those who are lost, will find a place to pawn their life choices and deepest regrets. Hana Ishikawa wakes on her first morning as the new owner to find the pawn shop ransacked, the shop's most precious acquisition stolen, and her father missing. And then into the shop stumbles a charming stranger, quiet, quite unlike any other customer, for he offers help instead of seeking it. Together they must journey through a mystical world to find Hannah's father and the stolen choice, through rain puddles, hitching rides on paper cranes across the bridge between midnight and morning, and through a night market in the clouds. But as they get closer to the truth, Hannah must reveal a secret of her own and risk making a choice she will never be able to take back. It sounds really good. It sounds really interesting, very intriguing, and I'm looking forward to reading this, I have to say. It's a translation from Japanese, and yeah, I think it could be very descriptive, very... I don't know. It just... I mean, the bit at the inscription at the beginning. For anyone in search of new beginnings. Part 1. The fallen blossom cannot return to the branch. A broken mirror cannot be made to shine. It just sounds like it's going to be very lyrical, very poetic, and I'm going to be interested to see how I go on with this. And then I knew this one was out, and I thought, well, I'm reading book 3 at the moment. I may as well pick up book 4, and that is The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore. This is book 4 in the Dream Harbour series, and also on the back I've just noticed that book 5 is which is still to come out, is going to be called The Gingerbread Bakery. I'm down for it, guys. So is that not just a delightful cover? Yay, so I'm looking forward to that. So those are the 2 new books that I have added to my growing pile. Yeah. I was saying I was going to just read all the books I had on my shelf. I have added so far a few, but that's okay. This is not I have to read everything. This reading is a hobby. It is not for me to go, oh, I've got to read everything that's on my shelves. I can't buy any other books or get on any other books because I've got that to do. No, I am not going to restrict myself that way. Yes, I want to read as many of the books I've got on my shelf as I can before I bring in a lot more, but if they're books I want to buy and they're books I want to get, then I'm going to do so. I know that next month I need to get onto it this weekend. I need to get my next book for the category romance book group that Sarah from the Bookish Knitter, again I will leave a link to her channel down below, that she is running. So I need to go and get a book, one of the author's books. So I'm looking forward to that. I just have to decide. She's got so many books that I'm like, ooh, where do I start? I thought I'd read something by her before. I have, but it was in an anthology. So, and I know I really enjoyed it, but I just need to get, find out what I'm going to read. So, yeah, so that's it. I have been yakking on for over 22 minutes. So that's the book things. What am I going to be doing this weekend? Well, tonight I am going to a secret book swap event near me, and everybody has to take a book, one that they really enjoyed and that they're quite happy to pass on, and you've got to wrap it up, but you're not allowed, when you give your wee kind of synopsis thing, you're not allowed to say the author, you're not allowed to say the title, and you've got to try and be a bit vague with your actual description. So I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. And then for the rest of the weekend, there's rugby tomorrow, so I will be watching rugby. Just read and just relax is what I'm going to do. Maybe do some cross stitch. I don't know. I'm not going to, with sort of my friend not coming now, I'm not going to sort of go, right, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do that. No, I am just going to go, right, okay, we just take this weekend as a weekend and just do what I feel like doing and just take it from there. But that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please come chat with me down in the comments. Do you like the sound of any of the books that I've mentioned? I would love to know. What have you been reading this week, and what are you going to be reading this weekend? What are you planning on doing this weekend? And on your way to chat with me in the comments, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It will keep my channel growing. And also, if you haven't already, please hit that subscription bell and notification bell. It will just tell you when I'm putting out new videos. It again keeps my channel growing, which I am loving. To all the new friends that have come out and subscribed, thank you very, very much. It means the world to me, and I am loving getting to know new people. It's great. But until my next video, friends, stay safe, happy reading. Bye.